$300 million in 1 year. A mansion reportedly worth 35 million euros, a Bugatti so rare that only 10 exist on Earth, and a personal fortune that made him the first billionaire in the history of football. But here's the thing almost everyone gets wrong about Cristiano Ronaldo's money. The cars, the jet, the yacht, those aren't the important purchases. The most expensive thing Ronaldo ever bought was time. Cryotherapy chambers, biometric trackers, recovery systems, entire companies built around slowing down a human body. And it worked. At 41 years old, he walked out for his 6th World Cup. In this video, the houses, the 40-car garage, the watch empire, the businesses, and the one purchase that explains all the others. Also, keep one detail in mind. A 12-year-old boy crying on a phone, alone. That's where this ends. Hit the like button early. If the story doesn't grab you, you can take it back at the end. Deal? Let's go to Madeira. Funchal, Madeira, February 1985. Cristiano is born into a small apartment on a small island, sharing one room with his brother and 2 sisters. His father, a gardener and kitman, names him after Ronald Reagan. There's no money. By some accounts, as a boy he helped the family by sweeping streets. And then, at 12, he does the thing that defines everything after. He leaves. Alone. 1,000 kilometers to Sporting's academy in Lisbon, without his family, at an age when most kids can't cook for themselves. Teammates remember him calling home in tears. Remember that boy. He comes back at the end of this video. At 18, Manchester United pay around 17.5 million euros for him. And here's a detail I love. Ronaldo asked for the number 28, the shirt he'd worn at Sporting. Alex Ferguson refused. He handed him the number 7 instead, the shirt of George Best, Eric Cantona, David Beckham. A number he never asked for became the name of his entire empire, CR7. The hotels, the watches, the clothing, the museum, all named after a shirt he was given by accident. Now, the scale of the machine. This year, Forbes calculated Ronaldo's earnings at $300 million in 12 months. $235 million from Al Nassr, $65 million from everything else. 4th year in a row at number 1, 6th time overall, matching Michael Jordan. He's now the first athlete in history to pass $2 billion in career earnings while still playing, with a net worth estimated between 1.2 and 1.4 billion. Football's first billionaire. His Nike deal is a lifetime contract reported at around $1 billion. And brands pay that because of the audience. Ronaldo became the first human being followed by 1 billion people across social media. When he opened a YouTube channel, he passed 60 million subscribers in about 3 weeks. Neymar sold his face. Mbappé kept his image rights. Cristiano built the largest personal broadcasting network in human history. So what does he actually buy? Start with the house. In Quinta da Marinha, near Cascais, he spent more than 3 years building a residence reported to have cost around 35 million euros, one of the most expensive private homes in Portugal. Reportedly, indoor and outdoor pools, a cinema, a gym, a garage for the collection, Italian marble, ocean views. He also owns what was once the most expensive apartment ever sold in Portugal, a Lisbon penthouse at around 7.2 million euros, plus the house in Madrid's La Finca, 7 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, from his Real Madrid years. And one honest note that fits this story perfectly. There have been reports he's grown frustrated with the lack of privacy in Cascais and looked at selling. He spent tens of millions on the perfect fortress and still couldn't buy invisibility. Then the garage, which he himself admits he's lost count of, somewhere around 40 cars. The crown piece, the Bugatti 110. Only 10 were ever built. 8 million euros each, 1,600 horsepower. And according to automotive reports, his was number 7 of 10. Of course it was. Over the years, the collection has included a Chiron, a Veyron, a McLaren Senna, a Ferrari Monza SP2. There's a yacht, around 27 meters, reported at roughly $7 million, and a CR7 branded private jet, valued at around 70 million euros, though the exact ownership structure is private. Notice the pattern. Zlatan's Ferraris are a ritual. Neymar's toys are a party. Ronaldo's cars are trophies, the fastest, the rarest, the most limited, proof of winning, parked in a garage. And the watches tell you something even sharper. He's been seen wearing pieces worth over $1 million, and with Jacob & Co., he designed his own models, the Flight of CR7, the heart of CR7, built around the number and his celebration. But then he did the thing most collectors never do. In 2023, he invested in Chrono24, the world's biggest online marketplace for luxury watches, a company valued at over $1 billion. Cristiano doesn't just buy watches anymore. He owns a piece of the marketplace that sells them. And that's the perfect bridge, because his real obsession has always been time. Here's the turn. Ronaldo's most valuable asset was never a house or a car. It's his body, and he spends on it like an industrial facility. When he returned to Manchester United, reports said his personal cryotherapy chamber, worth around £50,000, was transported from Turin to England with him. He didn't just endorse Whoop, the recovery and sleep tracker, he invested in it, a company valued this year above $10 billion. And Whoop said he wore the device roughly 95% of the time across 646 days, reviewing his sleep and recovery data daily. Then he built his own platform, Eraculus, training, nutrition, sleep, mindfulness in one system. The Bugattis make him look rich. The recovery system explains why he was still playing at 41. And the empire around it follows the same logic. Every business sells some version of him. Pestana CR7 Hotels. 5 properties open, from Funchal to Lisbon, Madrid, New York, and Marrakesh, with Paris planned. Insparia, his chain of hair transplant clinics. And yes, the irony is perfect. One of football's most famous haircuts turned into a business treating hair loss. Add CR7 gyms, 10% of Vista Alegre, the historic Portuguese porcelain house, a film studio co-founded with director Matthew Vaughn, and, this February, 25% of a Spanish club, UD Almeria. He isn't diversifying away from his own brand. He's monetizing it vertically. Health, appearance, discipline, luxury, all sold under one name. Now the honest part, because this channel doesn't do fairy tales without the fine print. Not everything worked. In 2015, he paid $18.5 million for an apartment in New York's Trump Tower, and later sold it for around 7.2, a loss of roughly 11 million. In 2019, he accepted a Spanish tax settlement over image rights income, about 18.8 million euros, and a suspended sentence. The same image rights that built the empire also produced its most expensive legal problem. And on charity, the internet is full of enormous donation claims attached to his name, and many of them are simply false. Save the Children publicly denied the famous Nepal story. What is confirmed is real enough. A Red Cross ambassadorship for landmine victims, a donation for children in Syria, and the auction of his Ballon d'Or replica for around 600,000 euros given to Make-A-Wish. But remember the 12-year-old crying on the phone? Here's how it closes. Today on Madeira, there is a museum of his trophies, a statue, a Pestana CR7 hotel, the very first one he opened. And the island's airport itself was officially renamed after him. At 12, he left Madeira alone because the island was too small for his dream. 3 decades later, you can't even land there without hearing his name. Which leaves the one thing all of it couldn't buy: the recovery, the cryo chamber, the tracked sleep, the billion-dollar body maintenance. It did work. At 41, he played his 6th World Cup and became the first man ever to score at 6 different tournaments, finally scoring his first World Cup knockout goal. And then, in the round of 16, Spain scored in stoppage time, 1-0. His last World Cup ended, and the trophy stayed out of reach, the only major prize his career never touched. He bought the fastest cars, the rarest watches, and enough technology to keep a body alive years past its expiry date. But when the whistle came, time collected its debt anyway. So here's my question for you. Of all the fortunes we've broken down on this channel, Neymar's, Zlatan's, Mbappe's, and now Ronaldo's, whose money bought the most? And was it worth it? $2 billion and no World Cup? Tell me in the comments. And if you want to see how the others spend theirs, those breakdowns are already on the channel.